Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Joe. Welcome to recap number 110. Jesus. I'm off. I don't know what to tell you. Also, my camera's kind of jacked up. Kind of like always. Anyway, today we're here to cover the last 5 games we played, of course, which is Looney Tunes Basketball, the Flintstones, based on the movie, not the cartoon, Tecmo Super Bowl II, NCAA Final Four Basketball, and Mega Man X2. I bet you can guess which one gets a thumbs up in this round. First up, we got Looney Tunes B-Ball. This is NBA Jam, but with the Looney Tunes. The sprite work is good, the artwork is good, the music is okay, the sound is fine, and it's got that Looney Tune quality. All the characters that you can pick from have different special abilities. You pick up gems that spawn on the court, and that lets you pay for the abilities, like throwing a custard pie at someone, or shooting at them if you're Yosemite Sam, or Sylvester kicks people. Bugs Bunny dresses in drag and distracts people. Very, very evocative of the Looney Tunes in the 90s, 80s, 90s. And it was a fun game, actually. I enjoyed it. The game is a thumbs up for me. Totally worth playing. I wouldn't begrudge having it. It's kind of one of the more expensive ones. I think it was like $60 maybe. But yeah, NBA Jam and Looney Tunes B-Ball are both great basketball games. I would highly recommend either one. If you want real basketball, go NBA Jam. If you just want something fun and arcadey, then Looney Tunes B-Ball is totally acceptable and fine for that. Give it a look. It's a pretty solid game. Next up, The Flintstones. This is based off of the movie that John Goodman was in the mid-90s, which was an okay movie. They did a pretty good job making the head look like John Goodman. Otherwise, the graphics are okay. I mean, nice color usage. The sprites are all right. Nothing exceptional. The music was ho-hum. The sound effects were also ho-hum. The gameplay leaves some to be desired. You do... I'm trying to think of how to word things. The jumps don't feel great. You do end up making blind jumps. You do end up having to jump to areas where immediately you get hit by enemies throwing shit at you, like rocks. It's got a few bonuses. You can climb. That's pretty nice. You can, as you can see right there, you can just kind of hang on a rock and wait for the bad guy to walk away if that's an option. You get rocks to throw at people. And when that rock kills somebody, it falls back on the ground so you can pick it back up. That's basically infinite ammoing. You get this bowling ball, which is kind of decent. Like, the items are pretty okay. You can see me here trying to, hang on the edge of that thing, and it just wasn't working. In the end, it just wasn't a very fun game. I think it was the whole second level was like Peter Pupper from Earthworm Jim. Like, instead of catching the dog on the marshmallow, you had to bounce Pebbles and Bam Bam off the roof of your car moving forward and backward down the street. And it was just really obnoxious. I didn't care for it. I just didn't care for this game in general. It wasn't very fun. If you want a Flintstones game, go play The Treasure of Sierra Madrock. That was a decent game. And that was based off the cartoon. But significantly more entertaining than this one. So thumbs down on the Flintstones. Next up, Super Tecmo Bowl, or Tecmo Super Bowl II. Now, if you'd asked me my favorite football games, video games, you could forget all of the simulation football games, right? I don't like Maddens, I don't like colleges, I don't like 2Ks or whatever's. I like, Mutant League Football, Super High Impact, NFL Blitz, and the Tecmo Bowls. And this continues that path. Every Tecmo Bowl is good. The graphics are solid. The sprite work is decent. The music and sound is all right. This one, the play is fine. The play works wonderfully. My biggest issue with this one was if every Tecmo Bowl game they've added, so they've added more plays, more playbook, more options. And one of the things I like about Tecmo Bowl is how insanely simple it is. So the more they add, the less I care for it. Now, this one is the first one to make a big graphical change. You've got that gradient field. It feels a little less flat, a little more like leaned, I guess, for lack of a better word. But everything still works wonderfully. It still plays just fine. It's a fun game. I can recommend this one. I don't understand. This one's really expensive, if I remember correctly. It was like $70 too. And I don't understand why, because all the other Tecmo Bowls are like $10, $15. But this one was super expensive. I wouldn't pay $70 for it, that's fact. But it's a fun game. Tecmo Bowl is always recommendable. I recommend it. Go out, check it out, play it. See if your preference. I still prefer Tecmo Bowl on the NES and the Game Boy myself, but each is their own. Next up, NCAA Final Four basketball. I'm just going to start with a thumbs down. It's not a great game. It's 5-on-5 basketball, simulation-y. You can see from the image here, very smooth movement. A lot of frames of animation in the movement. So it looks very thorough, but it really makes the game feel slow. There's no sense of speed here. Also, the sprite work is very muddy and kind of unimpressive. Pardon me. The crowd doesn't look great. When it goes to that free throw, which you just saw a second ago, that looks awful, like somebody drew it in like MS Paint. It's like they spent so much time on the animations, they forgot to do everything else. And they added a lot of superfluous controls in this. Like, you can just pass, but you could also bounce pass, or lob pass, or jump pass, or lots of ors, you know? I never could figure out how to slam dunk in this game. Didn't matter, really. I still won. I won the game I played, but it didn't matter. It just didn't feel good. Most basketball games, you have to hit the shoot button and hold it to actually shoot. But in this one, you hit it, and your guy does like, he's dribbling, and then he grabs it. And then there's like a whole second of holding it before he finally animates into throwing, or shooting, sorry. And it just felt awful. Like, it didn't feel, it didn't feel like any other basketball game I've played as far as the slowness is concerned, except maybe Bill Ambier's Combat Basketball, which isn't really basketball. But this is a non-recommend for me. It's not great. It wasn't fun. It's very slow. It's not impressive in any way, shape, or form. So, definite pass. I think it was like a $5 game, and for good reason. Finally, we get Mega Man X2. Capcom hitting it out of the park with every Mega Man game on the damn planet. Graphics, great. Sprite work, superb. Image, all the bit work looks fantastic. Sound, good. Music, all the Mega Man music's really good. Gameplay, fine. This game, you start with your dash, which I don't think you started with in Mega Man X1. Otherwise, it works pretty much the same way as Mega Man X1. There's sub-tanks and heart tanks and different upgrade tanks that change your armor to the white armor. I didn't find any of those while I was playing. Also, I suck at this game. They introduced the speeder bike, along with, you still get the big robot walkie suit, of course, only for very small sections of the game. You can charge shoot. It's a good game. I think I prefer Mega Man X1. And I think that really just comes down to, I played that enough times, and I played like Mega Man 2 enough times to not have to get good at those games anymore. This one I suck at, and so I still have to get good. And I just don't want to get good. Like, I have hundreds upon hundreds of games in my house that I've not played. And I don't want to take the time to get good at Mega Man X2. So, is it a thumbs up? For sure. Go check out X2. All the Mega Man games, generally speaking, are very worth picking up. There are a couple that some people would be like, no, this is the worst game. Mega Man 1 was a bit rough, but, starting with 2, they really solidified their formula into peak perfection. So I can recommend Mega Man X2, but it's not my favorite of the Mega Mans, or the X series for that matter. but it's a good game. So that's it. Unbelievably, 3 thumbs up this set, which is getting so rare to get more than 1 or 2. But this one we can definitely recommend: Tecmo Bowl, Looney Tunes B-Ball, and Mega Man X2. They're just solid playing games. And aside from Tecmo Bowl, I think they're all fairly affordable. I don't know. I guess everyone gets to be their own judge on that, but they're all good, so go get them. Mega Man X2, Tecmo Bowl 2, and Looney Tunes B-Ball. That's it, guys. We appreciate you sticking with us, of course, and we continue on. This marks my 550th game played for the Super Nintendo library, and at a rate of at least 2 a week, which tends to be about what I'm averaging half the time, because it seems like every other week we got some kind of plans that messes up my recording. I got another year and a half, and I should wrap the whole setup, but that's it. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. Have a good one. See you next time.